We should start doing seasons so we stop having to remember where we're at.
Hello, I'm Steve.
And I'm David.
And this is a special episode of Anime Plus, leading into the next season of Anime Plus, where we are going to be discussing Rascal Does Not Dream of Santa Claus. We're going to do a quick little synopsis of the Rascal Doesn't Dream series up until this point. Prior to Santa Claus, it had a 13-episode season that covered the first 5 volumes of the light novel that was titled Rascal Does Not Dream of Bunny Girl Senpai. Then there was a theatrical release movie called Rascal Does Not Dream of a Dreaming Girl, which covered light novel volumes 6 and 7. Then there were back-to-back theatrical movies. The second movie is Rascal Does Not Dream of a Sister Venturing Out, and the third movie is Rascal Does Not Dream of a Knapsack Kid. Quick synopsis: main character of the series and the story's narrator is Azusagawa Sakta. The story deals with him interacting with people his age as they struggle through supernatural manifestations of adolescent dread. So Sakta goes through helping random people that he runs into and becomes friends with or is already friends with as they're dealing with ordinary troubles of being a teenager that take on supernatural twists. The first encounter is with an upperclassman named Sakurajima Mai, who is a famous actor who is currently struggling with no longer being in the limelight due to taking a hiatus in her acting career, and it's causing people to no longer register her existence in the physical plane. Him helping her to overcome this issue causes them to begin dating. The second arc deals with him helping an underclassman who is struggling fitting in with her friend group in class due to the awkwardness of an upperclassman who the leader of her friend group liking her instead. This then transforms into her kind of projecting her schoolgirl romance on Sakta instead, causing him problems. Her manifestation of adolescent syndrome is the ability to repeat loops of time until she gets it the way that she desires it to be. The third arc deals with Sakta helping one of his 2 best friends, Futaba Ryo, who is struggling with body image issues and her identity in regards to the people around her, which has caused her to split into 2 copies of herself. The fourth arc deals with Sakta's girlfriend Mai's half-sister, Toyohama Nodoka, who has been raised by a mother who has hostility towards Mai's mother and has been using her daughter to try to get revenge against her husband's ex-wife by trying to force Nodoka to be more famous than Mai. So in this arc, they switch bodies, essentially. And then the final arc of the original TV series deals with Sakta's younger sister, who the entire time we've known the story has been dealing with an adolescent syndrome that began in middle school, where virtual bullying by her classmates manifested into physical injuries on her body. The incident led to a cascade of effects that caused her to have amnesia. It also caused Sakta to have this kind of grievous chest wound that looked like he got struck by a bear. But due to the amnesia, there was a lot of strain on Sakta's family. So since he began high school, he and his sister have been living on their own in a different city from where their parents are living, because their mother essentially had a nervous breakdown and has been hospitalized the past few years due to this whole environment. The amnesia has created a completely different personality for his sister than she previously had. And everybody that has become friends with Sakta and his sister have no idea that this is not the real Kaede. So in the 5th arc, her memories come flooding back, and the Kaede that we've known the entire time disappears and causes an amount of strain with Sakta. And Kaede has to relearn the past couple of years of history that she was not conscious of because the other personality was conscious during all of that. The first movie, Sakta Doesn't Dream of a Dreaming Girl, covers light novel volume 6 and 7, and it deals with an older girl named Makinohara Shoko, who was the only person there for Sakta when his sister's adolescent syndrome was at its peak of destructiveness. This girl, who he's never found since, has essentially been his first love, much to his girlfriend's dislike.
Kajrin.
Beginning with the second arc, there has been a 10-year-old version of Shoko that has shown up. Sakta can't understand if she's related to the older girl that he knows that at this point should be an adult. So the movie deals with all of this in finding out that the older version of Shoko is Shoko's adolescent syndrome manifestation. Shoko, the 10-year-old girl, who is the one that is in the correct timeline, is struggling with a genetic heart defect. So due to the fact that her future is uncertain, she herself is manifesting an older version of her to live through vicariously. Once Sakta learns the truth of what's happening with the girl that he's been in love with for all this time, he realizes that he needs to try to save her life. Doing so changes the world in a way he doesn't realize, which is important as we move into the college arc. We dropped a video previously where I made the argument that this movie should absolutely be considered in at least the top 3 of the saddest anime ever made. So check that out after this. There'll be a link. Chime in as to whether or not you think my argument is valid or not. Essentially, all of this has been a dream and that Shoko's been dreaming up ever since. So using her dream prescience knowledge, she tweaks the timeline a little bit, and the young Sakurajima Mai chooses a different movie role at a pivotal point, leading to an increased drive for organ donors, allowing Shoko to get the transplant she needs without the sacrifices that were required initially. Second movie, Rascal Doesn't Dream of a Sister Venturing Out, deals with the old Kaede, now restored, struggling with her apprehension in regards to interacting with her peer group due to her previous experiences that led to her amnesia. So it's setting up her future in how she is going to enter into high school, which introduces a member of the same pop group that Mai's sister Nodoka is a part of. The third movie, Rascal Does Not Dream of a Knapsack Girl, deals with Mai graduating high school and pausing her entrance into college so that she and Sakta can go to college in the same time frame. It also deals with Kaede and Sakta finally re-engaging with their mother as her recovery is improving, particularly due to Kaede's amnesia going away. Unfortunately, after we'll just say Sunday dinner at their parents' house, Sakta gets affected by his own adolescent syndrome, where, much like Mai in the beginning arc, he is no longer being noticed in the world. And a younger version of Mai ends up transporting him to an alternate reality where they never suffered through the problems of adolescent syndrome like they did, but he still ended up in this other town at this other school, dating Mai, having all the same friend group.
Convenient.
This arc is important to the college arc because the one difference he notices, aside from everything, going really, really gravy in this world, is there is a girl that's a classmate of his who in his world is not a classmate of his, who was the class rep in middle school, who is struggling with what she sees as her inability to help him in the moment of his need during middle school. Sakta realizes that this is not his world and is able to find the younger version of Mai, and she sends him back to his world. When he gets back home and struggles through being seen, being part of reality again, there's a note that was left for him by the version of himself that he had swapped places with, who told him to essentially fix his shit because his world is in terrible shape, because the version of him from the world that was going well was kind of pissed off that he had to deal with all of this bullshit that the Sakta we know has been in the middle of. So by the end of that, everything is hunky-dory. Sakta realizes that the world needs him, and his mother and everyone else can see him again. And he is back into reality. He saved himself. And that's where we leave off the story as we move into the college arc. One important thing that is a direct result of Shoko, the girl who needed the heart transplant, who essentially reset the timeline. The one thing that changed that people have picked up on is there appears this woman named Kirishima Toko who begins to start generating viral songs that she uploads online.
She's a SoundCloud rapper.
As we move into the college arc, unlike the high school arc, we have an overarching, not necessarily antagonist, but, well, yeah, she is an antagonist. Kirishima Toko is an antagonist. And she is a central figure in the college arc. So unfortunately, the second and third movie were only available for a 2-day theatrical run in North America. The DVDs or Blu-rays have not been released. At the time of this recording, Crunchyroll finally has the first movie on its service. So you can at least watch the first movie and determine whether or not my case for it being one of the saddest anime ever made has some merit to it. Movies 2 and 3, you're going to miss on some important plot points that lead into things dealing in the college arc.
Woo!
Unless you go through illicit means, the only way to understand the 2 missing story arcs that are leading into Rascal Doesn't Dream of Santa Claus is to pick up the light novels. But
as Shoshimin comes to a close, we will begin talking about Rascal Doesn't Dream of Santa Claus.
For me, the Rascal Doesn't Dream series feels like the Haruhi Suzumiya series, but way better. Like, I've always loved the Suzumiya Haruhi series, but then Rascal came and it felt familiar like Haruhi was, but it's a vastly better story. But every time I sit down and I watch the anime, I get reminded of how much of a melodrama it is. Like, this is a drama.
Yes.
Sometimes a little bit too much drama. Like it's a soap opera of sorts.
Yeah, kind of.
But man, it's so good. It's such a good story. I can't wait for you to experience the college arc because, like I've always said as I've done the reviews of all the light novels, the story gets better with each progressive arc.
I just want them to fucking kiss. Jesus.
Well, I don't think you're going to get that anytime soon.
Oh, we're never going to see it. It's never going to happen.
She plays Koi. Dude, she's so fucking shy.
I know, but they've been so close so many times and it just keeps getting interrupted.
I mean, that's the trope, right? The best part is how deeply in love with him she is. But she is such a goddamn tsundere.
Yup. She's a tease. And he loves it. What else can we say about Rascal besides that it's perfect?
I don't know if it's perfect, but it's pretty damn enjoyable.
It's entertaining. And that's what we always want in an anime.
Yeah.
Entertainment.
That work's not the greatest.
It's okay.
The characters are what make this story.
Yeah.
Particularly,
you can get away with not the best artwork if the story is just like fantastic.
The relationship and the interactions between Sakta and Mai is what carries it through everything, I feel. Their relationship is so heartwarming.
It's cute as fuck.
And amusing. You just gotta watch it.
It's a healthy relationship.
Yeah, it is.
It's a very like teasy, mess with each other relationship, but it's very healthy.
Yeah.
They pick on each other, which I'd say is a symbol of a healthy relationship.
You know what's great about Rascal Doesn't Dream?
What?
The lack of tropes.
Yes.
The concept of the story is just supernatural manifestations of
Puberty.
internal stresses over adolescence.
Yeah.
Fitting in with your peers, how you feel about yourself and how you see yourself,
How society sees you.
how you perceive society viewing you.
Health issues.
Body image, bullying.
Relationships.
It's
Both healthy and not healthy.
As we move into the college arc, the characters realize that just because they're theoretically adults now, the things that plagued them when they were teenagers have not necessarily gone away.
Just because you're an adult doesn't mean you're just not being a kid.
Exactly. So I can't wait for us to begin watching Rascal Doesn't Dream of Santa Claus. This is going to be one of those Anime Plus where I already know the story going into it because I've read all of the light novels up to volume 14. I still haven't read 14, and volume 15 is not out in English yet.
It's like Ranma 1/2 all over again.
All right, well, thanks for listening. Let us know what your thoughts are on the Rascal Doesn't Dream series, and if you've been able to see movies 2 and 3. So thanks for listening. We are going to be rolling into the summer season, so stay tuned with the regular podcast to find out what the 3 new shows we're going to be watching as the spring season is pretty much wrapped up.
Yeah, there.
And then the next batch of Anime Plus episodes will be dealing with Rascal Does Not Dream of Santa Claus.
Yeah.
Like and subscribe, hit that bell so you can get the notifications for when they drop. Thanks again. Until next time.
And don't lewd the platelets.